Hello, friends. Susan Axelrod here, the Confidence Coach. Welcome to the Confidence Zone. Last night, I don't know if it was a dream or I woke up, but something came to me and I thought a lot about it. And I decided that I was awakened or in awareness in that way so that I would speak about it with you today. Yesterday, in a Facebook group that I'm in, for women, a large Facebook group for women, I read a post by a woman I don't know, of course, who shared that from her stress and anxiety and distress that she's in about various things, she's drinking every night. She said, I'm using alcohol to self-medicate right now. I'm drinking every night. This hit me deeply. And like I said, sometime over the night, I thought to myself, I have voice, I have a platform, and I have a little something to say. And so I'm asking you here today in the confidence zone, are you using alcohol to suppress? Are you using alcohol to self-medicate? In this amazing group of women that I'm in, people from all over the world, really, and none of us know each other in person. It's just one of these groups that's come together, creating a sacred space where we can be honest with each other. Sometimes it's easier to be honest with strangers. This woman revealed her truth. And the truth is, it reminded me that in another much smaller group, only a few thousand, that one has tens of thousands, but in another much smaller group, I read this same exact thing not that long ago. But she said she's getting high and using alcohol to, kind of manage and cope with what she's dealing with in her life. I am not a recovery coach. I'm not an expert in this area. My work as a confidence coach here in the confidence zone is to support you to be able to stand square, be able to look in the mirror, love what you see, feel good about what you see so that you can confidently go forth in life and business. If you're using a substance, weed or alcohol, to self-medicate, to suppress, as these few women indicated, then you cannot appear confident to feel the confidence rising up in you because probably you know intellectually that you shouldn't be doing that. That leads to a devolving, sense of self, a lack of authenticity because it's not good for you, yet you're appearing and presenting yourself as if you're fine, functional, whole. Yeah, I'm talking about this. I'm saying it out loud on the only platform I have. I created a platform to give voice for the seminal messages that are intended to come through me. Last night, I don't know if I woke up or I came to awareness or I remembered in the morning, but I was so profoundly moved by that woman and all these responses of people who talked about, the addiction relationships in their lives. And I asked several questions myself in the post. How do you feel when you drink? How much are you drinking? Do you measure it? Are you in awareness of it? You came here to share it with us. Have you shared everything that there is to share? How do you feel in the nighttime when you go to bed, in the morning when you wake up, when you look in the mirror, when you engage with your children? Would you want your children to be doing what you're doing? Because that's what you're showing them. All these questions from a place of love, not judgment. We are at a time when the crisis of alcohol use disorder and substance use disorder and addiction to things like pornography, gambling, sugar, electronics, these are addictions. These are behaviors and Almost always, I'm not an expert, but I am versed in this. Underlying these behaviors is some sort of distress. It may be as far as a mental illness, but it may only be as far as a mental health or emotional concern. But even if it's only an emotional concern, if it's hard enough for you, then you are doing something to suppress it, using something to suppress. Sugar addiction is a real thing and it's devastating. Now, sugar addiction or food addiction does not feel like you're, an alcoholic in quotation marks. They're not called alcoholics anymore. They're called people in alcohol use disorder. But if you're eating more than you should, eating sugar when you know it's bad for you, etc., etc., etc. I'm speaking to you from a place of love, not judgment. I'm simply asking you questions that very possibly and even very likely no one else in your entire life can ask you because they don't know, or will ask you even if they do know. Because the truth connected to addiction is we don't know what to say. We don't want you to feel worse about yourself. We don't want to aggravate a situation. We don't want to make it worse. And usually the truth is we don't know what to do and we don't know what to say. That's in real time relationships. I'm here making a video to simply ask you a few questions about yourself and your own use of alcohol, for example. There's no confidence when we're living in authenticity. When we present ourselves a certain way, this woman right in the Facebook group, she said, I'm a working professional, I'm a mother, I'm married, this, that. She called out all of what she was. And she said, but every night I'm drinking, I'm drinking myself to sleep or drinking too much or whatever it was that she shared. And it just really touched me because we are in such a profound crisis of mental health concern, emotional unwellness, and much worse. So thank you for allowing me to show up here in total authenticity by asking questions that most people won't ask you. Thank you for showing up for yourself. But if you're watching this, I also want to invite you from a place of love, not judgment. Go ahead and ask the people in your lives, do you think you use alcohol for a reason to suppress or self-medicate? Do you think you drink too much alcohol? Tell me about the alcohol use in your life. Tell me about the weed use. Now we got weed going on. Now it's legal. So is it really a problem or is it not a problem? Right? But I just find and have experienced it's hard to talk about these things and that we're reluctant to bring them up, especially if we're a parent of a child or any relationship, to tell you the truth. If you see your elderly parent drinking too much or whatever. So that's it for today, friends. Serious and deep in the confidence zone. Sharing from a place of love, not judgment. If you see yourself, if you're answering yes to any of these questions, if you're in addiction yourself, if you think that there's a problem, I encourage you to get help. I'm not going to tell you where to get help. I'm not an expert, but I think you probably know how to find some help for yourself if you think you need it. If you're in an addiction relationship, as I call it, seek out Al-Anon and you may find some help there. If nothing else, reveal the truth to someone else, and that will open your heart a little bit. Okay? All right, friends, sending you love, and thank you for listening today.